What's up, everybody? This is Franchise Play, aka Brian Mazik of BleacherReport.com, coming to you with a virtual NFL mock draft. Starting it off at number 1, the Houston Texans have to go with Jadeveon Clowney. Despite the concerns about Clowney's motor, the Texans won't be able to resist his enormous talent and upside. Now, are the questions about his work ethic really valid? It's too early to say for sure, but watching and listening to him about work and discipline can make potential coaches and general managers nervous. Still, the Texans gotta go with him. Number 2, the St. Louis Rams, Sammy Watkins, wide receiver out of Clemson. The Rams have needs at offensive line and safety, but neither should trump their thirst to add a dynamic playmaker in the passing game. St. Louis took Tavon Austin in the 2013 draft, but Watkins could be the legit number 1 receiver that allows Austin to have the breakout season that he can have in the slot. Sam Bradford should applaud this selection. Number 3, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Johnny Manziel, quarterback out of Texas A&M. A team and a city in need of a quarterback and a star could get both if the Jags tag Manziel with the 3rd pick. Now, this selection makes sense from every angle. Jacksonville would be nuts not to pull the trigger on Johnny football. With the 4th pick, the Cleveland Browns should take Blake Bortles, the quarterback out of Central Florida. Bortles' name has been mentioned as a possible number 1 pick to the Texans, but he's more likely to go between number 4 and number 8. I have him landing in Cleveland as the Browns need a franchise quarterback who isn't already 28 years old, as Brandon Wheaton was when the team drafted him back in 2012. Number 5, the Oakland Raiders, Big Greg Robinson, the offensive tackle for Auburn. A team without a young quarterback might be tempted to go after Teddy Bridgewater of Louisville here, or even Fresno State's Derek Carr. But scouts have been inexplicably down on Bridgewater lately, and I don't know why. Carr could have possibly be available in the 2nd round. So instead, the Raiders are going to opt to take the offensive lineman with the most athleticism and upside of any prospect at his position. Number 6, the Atlanta Falcons got to take Khalil Mack, the defensive end or outside linebacker out of Buffalo. Mack looks like an absolute terror waiting to explode on the NFL. His edge pass rushing skills may only be inferior to the Clowneys in this draft. However, unlike Clowney, there's no concerns about Mack's motor. He can make an immediate impact in Atlanta as a pass rusher. The Falcons need somebody to rush the passer right now, and Mack could be that guy. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans, wide receiver from Texas A&M. Hearing a lot of rumblings about the Bucs possibly going quarterback, but shouldn't be the case. The Bucs already have Vincent Jackson at wide receiver. Adding another big, physical wideout would give Josh McCown 2 huge targets in the passing game. It's not a bad way to start off Lovie Smith's tenure as a head coach. The Minnesota Vikings, Anthony Barr, outside linebacker for UCLA. With Jared Allen no longer wreaking havoc on the defensive line, the Vikings need another defensive playmaker. As pure athleticism goes, Barr is one of the most athletic players in the draft who is projected to play in the front 7. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills need to look at Eric Ebron, the tight end from North Carolina. Perhaps the best gift the team can give a young quarterback is a pass-catching tight end. A real good offensive line isn't bad either, though. Ebron is easily the best receiving tight end in the draft. He can make an immediate impact with quarterback E.J. Manuel and the Bills' offense. Number 10, the Detroit Lions, Justin Gilbert, the cornerback from Oklahoma State. Gilbert has the potential to become one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. He's 6 foot, a solid 202 pounds, and he ran a 4.37 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. And on top of that, he's got swag. From a physical and intangible standpoint, this guy is cut out to be an impact player against the pass rush. You need the type of attitude that Gilbert has if you're going to play cornerback in the NFL. Just ask Richard Sherman. Number 11, the Tennessee Titans, Jake Matthews, the offensive tackle for Texas A&M. Now, his father, Bruce Matthews, is a current coach and an all-time great within the organization. It's hard to imagine that the Titans wouldn't take Matthews, considering tackle is actually a position of need for them. Michael Ruse was going to be a free agent at the end of the season. Matthews could step right in at tackle this season and transition over to the left side in 2015. Case made. Number 12, the New York Giants, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. Now, the G-men need a youth injection on every level of their defense. They may as well start with a youth movement in the trenches. Donald's motor, his intangibles, make him the best defensive tackle prospect in the draft. Number 13, the St. Louis Rams, Calvin Pryor, safety for Louisville. Now, one of the reasons the Rams can afford to take Watkins with the second pick is because they also have this pick at 13. Taking Pryor helps to fill that void at safety. His physical style is a perfect fit for head coach Jeff Fisher's system. Number 14, Clinton-Dix to the Bears, safety from Alabama. With Donald off the board in this scenario, the Bears can look to another position of need and still land one of the best players in the draft. Nobody in Chicago wants to see Chris Conte come back as free safety. Chicago was terrible at the position last year. Clinton-Dix would start from day one with the Bears. With the talented players in front of him, he'd have a good chance to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Number 15, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Marqise Lee, cornerback from Michigan State. The Steelers also need to get younger on defense. Denner's physicality and man-to-man coverage and tackling ability against the run are perfect for the Steelers' defensive identity. He could ultimately supplant 33-year-old Ike Taylor as the team's top cover corner. Number 16, the Dallas Cowboys, Ryan Shazier, the linebacker from Ohio State. The only player who makes me hesitate to call Barr the most athletic linebacker in the draft is Shazier. The former Buckeye standout is a bullet on the football field. Dallas's defense was bad on every level in 2013. Taking the best player available on that side of the ball makes sense. Number 17, Baltimore Ravens, Taylor Lewan, offensive tackle from Michigan. The sooner the Ravens get back to a bruising, run-oriented team that is anchored by a strong defense, the better. They do need to evolve somewhat with the times, but the current personnel is still best suited for that type of football identity. The brand of physical football is rooted in players like Lewan. He can make an immediate impact in the run and the passing games. Number 18, the New York Jets, Marqise Lee, wide receiver from USC. The Jets are going to need a receiver who can stretch the field. That'll be the case no matter who's under center. Both Michael Vick and Geno Smith will struggle in 2014 if the front office doesn't bring in some offensive weapons. Lee's speed, hands, and experience in a pro-style offense at USC are going to serve him well in the NFL. Number 19, the Miami Dolphins, Zach Martin, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Ryan Tannehill got sacked 48 times in 2013. I don't care what's going on, that's a lot. The Dolphins must take measures to protect him in 2014 if they want him to still be their quarterback in 2015. Martin's versatility and intangibles are just what Miami needs to stabilize its O-line. Number 20, the Arizona Cardinals, Xavier Su'a-Filo from UCLA. Arizona took major strides in 2013 behind a stingy defense and the resurgence of Carson Palmer under center. What the team didn't do well was run the ball. Arizona was just 23rd in the NFL in rushing last season. A dynamic running back can be had later in the draft, but grabbing a stud guard like Su'a-Filo to help the inside running game is the smartest move he can make. Number 21, the Green Bay Packers, C.J. Mosley, inside linebacker from Alabama. The next great Packers linebacker could be Mosley. The value for inside linebackers in the NFL has dropped a bit in recent years, but Mosley is far and away the best in this year's draft. He's mature, and he has experience in leading one of the nation's best defenses over the last 2 seasons. Number 22, the Philadelphia Eagles, Brandon Cooks, wide receiver from Oregon State. Replacing Deshaun Jackson's production from scrimmage and in the return game might not take that long. Cooks is electric with the ball in his hands. He can make plays down the field as a receiver, and he also projects to be an impact player in the return game. Number 23, the Kansas City Chiefs, Odell Beckham Jr., the wide receiver from LSU. Because the Chiefs run an offense that is predicated on short passes, and also because Alex Smith lacks the arm strength, the team needs receivers who can pick up yards after the catch. Beckham is one of those guys. He's shifty in the open field and explosive on a straight line. Number 24, the Cincinnati Bengals, Timmy Jernigan, defensive tackle from Florida State. The Bengals' defensive line isn't as deep as it used to be. Particularly, the nose tackle position behind D'Amato Pecco is looking real thin. Jernigan projects as one of the better run-stuffing tackles in the draft. He'd be a nice selection for Cincinnati at number 24. The San Diego Chargers, Jason Verrett, the cornerback from TCU. Everyone not named Eric Weddle left something to be desired in the Chargers secondary in 2013. Verrett doesn't have ideal size at 5'9", 189 pounds, but his 4.38 speed and competitiveness make him a potential starter in his first season. He could push any one of the Chargers' current corners for a starting spot from day one. Number 26, the Cleveland Browns' Cyrus Kouandjio, the offensive tackle from Alabama. With Joe Thomas entrenched on the left side of the offensive line, the Browns could use their second pick in the first round to solidify the other tackle spot. Kouandjio is raw. He's still just 20 years old, but that tells you that he has time to develop into a force. Number 27, New Orleans Saints' Morgan Moses, offensive tackle from Virginia. No matter what anyone tells you, the Saints missed Jermon Bushrod last year. Drew Brees was sacked 37 times and he just didn't look as comfortable in the pocket most of the season. Taking a potential bookie and tackle in this draft isn't a bad idea. Moses has the potential to develop into a mainstay in New Orleans. Number 28, the Carolina Panthers' Kelvin Benjamin, wide receiver from Florida State. Without question, the Panthers have the worst wide receiving core in the NFL at the present moment. If the season began today, the depth chart says the Panthers would start Jason Avant and Jericho Cotchery at wideout. That's not a good look, and it can't make Cam Newton happy. Benjamin is a big receiver who is capable of going skyward to pull down passes. He looks like a potential terror in the red zone. Number 29, New England Patriots' Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback of Louisville. Now get ready to call me crazy, but why so many people seemingly so down on Bridgewater? Who knows? Whatever the reasons, Bridgewater's potential slide in the first round could allow him to fall into the lap of an unexpected team. Think about this for a moment. Tom Brady isn't going to play forever. He'll be 37 when the season starts. At some point, the Patriots have to grab his eventual successor. Bridgewater is talented and humble enough to wait his turn and hit the ground running when his name is called. Number 30, the San Francisco 49ers, Allen Robinson, the wide receiver from Penn State. Anquan Bolden is aging, and the 49ers need a receiver who can add a bit of verticality to their offense. Cooks would have been ideal, but Robinson will certainly do. He's one of the more underrated players in the draft, and he'd be a really nice running mate for Michael Crabtree down the road. Number 31, the Denver Broncos' Rashidi Hageman, defensive tackle, Minnesota. The Broncos spent a lot of money in free agency, and now it's time to add some talent through the draft. Hageman reminds me of Marcus Stroud a little bit. At 6'6", 310 pounds, he has the size to make an impact in the NFL. He may not ever turn into a star, but being surrounded by so much veteran talent and leadership in the Broncos locker room, it could help him quite a bit in regards to maturing. Number 32, the Seattle Seahawks, Kony Ealy, defensive end from Missouri. It was clear Seattle was looking for another pass rusher with their pursuit of Jared Allen. They did not sign him, but drafting Kony Ealy at number 32 could prove to be one of the biggest steals of the first round. This was the virtual mock draft. Subscribe, follow, peace.